Hi Stampers! Today we're going to make this little 3x3 card, which I think is so beautiful. It has a lot of little detail in it, so it's got a lot of punch for this little tiny card. But I'm also going to show you how to do a masking technique using this card and to get this highlight around here. So let's get started. So first thing you're going to do is actually cut a piece of, this is Early Espresso cardstock, and it's cut 3x6. And then you're just going to go ahead and score it on the 3" and fold it in half. So that's your card base. So we'll put that on the side. And then you're going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I use the stamp set called Simply Soft. And it's this long stemmed flower here. This is actually just a Hostess set that you can get, but I love this set. It has so many two-step stamping processes that you can use. So you can actually stamp this one color and then stamp the flowers a different color using the other stamp that's in there. So, but we're just going to be doing coloring this in today, just to give it a little bit more definition to the flower. So we're going to go ahead and use StazOn Black. And again, I like to use StazOn when I'm coloring anything in with blender pens. It just does stay on. That's a great name for it because it does. It doesn't smear when it gets damp, so it really makes a big difference. So this cardstock's cut about, it's actually just a scrap piece of cardstock, but it's cut about 3x3, the size that you want, because you at least want it the size of the card front. And I'm going to go ahead and just put two images down with that card or that stamp, and then we're going to go ahead and color this in using Marina Mist. And I'm going to go ahead and just smush the top of the lid here and get the color from the pad onto the lid there. And we're going to use our trusty blender pens here, and we're going to go ahead and just start blending in that color to get our flowers colored in. And then as far as the stem goes and the leaves go, we're going to be using Pear Pizzazz for that. So we're not going to color those in. In order to get this darker, I'll just do one of these flowers just to show you what I've done. I went ahead and just used the lid for the background color. And you can see it's very, very light blue. But in order to really bring out that flower a little bit more, I just went ahead and used my stamp pad, put my blender pen right in it, and I just went across some of the flowers just to highlight them a little bit, so you really have a much, much darker blue. And this is just a kind of a fun technique, because in real life, I mean, flowers aren't going to all be one solid color anyway, so it just kind of highlights it a little bit, gives it a little bit of shading. So I'll just kind of show you how I did that there, just to give it a little bit more color. Then you're going to go ahead and clean your brush off, and we're going to use a little bit of Pear Pizzazz to do the actual stem. And like I said, I'm just going to do one flower, and then we'll go ahead and proceed with the rest. So I'm just going to color in the stem a little bit, and the base of the flower using the Pear Pizzazz. And again, you can use that same technique if you just want to darken up a few of these areas in here just to give it a little bit more dimension. So that's basically how the flower is going to look once it's colored in. I've actually got the other side done already, just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. And so we'll go ahead and just cut this out to about 3 by 2 3/4. Okay. So we'll make this just a little bit smaller. And then we're going to go ahead and start tearing along one side and along the top. You're not going to tear the corner, the bottom, it would be the bottom left-hand corner of the card. So we're just going to start tearing and just kind of go around the flower. So as you tear, you're going to hold where you don't want the tear to go, because you don't want to tear the whole card and you don't want to tear your image off. So that's how you're going to get that nice torn image. I'm actually going to kind of pull this up a little bit with my fingers just to give it a more distressed look. And then as far as getting the highlighting around here of the image, what I've done is I've actually gone ahead and stamped another image of that same flower and cut out around it. This is going to be our mask. That's what we're going to be putting on top of the flower to kind of protect it from getting sponged over from the other colors. So again, we're going to use Marina Mist. I'm going to take my little sponge here, and we're going to sponge just a little bit of Marina Mist around this one flower. So this is just the one that we've cut out. I placed it on top once again. And we're going to take a little bit of this Marina Mist and go right around that flower and just highlight it a little bit. Now we're going to do the same thing, move your mask over and do it around the other flower. And this is just so that you kind of get a little bit of a white halo around your flowers without actually getting any more color on them. Then I took a little bit more chocolate chip, or you can use early espresso. Chocolate chip's a little bit lighter, so that's why I use that. And again, we're going to mask our flower. And just put a little bit of the chocolate chip around it. I'm going to move this over and mask this one. The stem is pretty thin, so you have to be kind of careful around it. And that's all you do. That's how you get that highlight around it, but you also have kind of a little bit of a halo around it, and you're not coloring up what you've already stamped. Then all we really need to do is let's check to see if we've got this the right size. That looks pretty perfect, so that'll fit on the card very nicely. I've just taken a little tiny piece of DSP that I had hanging around, and I'm just going to kind of put that at the bottom here just to kind of fill up the corner, give it a little bit more interest. Use a little snail down here. The rest of the card's going to be covered, so all you need to do is just put it in that one little corner. As far as the coloring for the saying goes, I used, you can use any saying. I've just got this one that says, "So happy to have a friend like you." In order to stamp that on there and to get it perfect, I used my Stamp-A-Majig. So I'll show you how we did that. So again, I'm just going to use the chocolate chip coloring because I want to put it right across there and I want it to be perfect. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is take your Stamp-A-Majig. You're going to put your plastic sheath right up in the corner of the Stamp-A-Majig. It's going to fit like that. You're going to go ahead and take your stamp that you want to use and put it in the stamp pad and go ahead and press right onto the plastic. So it's right on there, and you can see that the saying's right on there, and I'm moving this along with this so you can see this better. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of paper and place my saying where I want it to be. So I'm going to show you this so that it's facing you so that you can see what I'm doing. And that's exactly where I want my saying to be on this particular card. I'm going to go ahead and take the corner of my Stamp-A-Majig and set it right up against that plastic so it's right up in there real nice and tight. Again, making sure my paper underneath is exactly where I want it. Okay, so that's where I want my saying. Now I'm going to remove the plastic, take my stamp, go ahead and re-ink it up, put the block of my stamp right up into my Stamp-A-Majig, place it down, and stamp. Now you have your saying exactly where you want it. Okay? I do have another video on how to use the Stamp-A-Majig as well, but I just wanted to review it real quick with you. Now the only thing that we have left to do is we're just going to take a little tiny piece of ribbon, and this is the new ribbon. Oh my god, this is so cute. It's actually scalloped, and it has dots on it, or you can use the other side, which is solid. It's really pretty little ribbon, and I have little scraps left over, and I love to use all my little scraps. I'm just going to take a little glue dot, and these are mini glue dots. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of close this ribbon up. Then on the other side, just one side, we're going to go ahead and put another little mini glue dot, and we're going to attach that to one of our little mini assortment clips. These come in all different kinds of sizes and stuff. We're going to go ahead and just stick that right on the back of a clip. And then this is actually going to go on the top of our card, so that's all ready to go. We're going to go ahead and start putting our adhesive on here. Now we don't want to put it right up in this corner here because that's where our clip's going to go, so we're just going to go around that area. But everything else can get the snail on it. And we'll go ahead and just pop that down on the card. Put it right up in the corner of the card there. There you go. And now all we have to do is attach our little clip at the top corner, and it is all set to go. We'll just go ahead and put that down in there. There we go. Cute little card using that masking technique. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.